This is awesome. I feel like I'm on the set of MASH 4077, the television show. We're here in Chester, Connecticut for the Connecticut Military Vehicle Collector Show.
Today, Cruisin New England travels to Connecticut so we can travel back in time with people who preserve our nation's history. These aren't museum pieces. They run on the road and in the water.
Is this thing actually seaworthy?
We'll be back to find out if she sinks or swims.
We're ranked in the top 10 nationally and going for number 1.
McMokin Chevrolet is one of the largest dealers of new and pre-owned Corvettes in the country, with over 50 Corvettes, including the ZR1 in stock and ready for immediate delivery. In the pursuit of your sports car, make it the true American sports car, the Corvette. Or maybe it's the brand new 2010 Camaro. If it's new, pre-owned, or hard to find, McMokin Chevrolet is your dealer.
Call today and experience why. McMokin Chevrolet.
The Thompson Auto Group.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, president of Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance. We've been in the business of insuring collector cars since 1947, and we've learned that what collectors need is a great value coverage at incredibly low rates. So for a legendary service, superior coverage, all at a substantial savings, call Grundy Worldwide or visit us online.
Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Cruisin New England magazine. Plan your cruise and car show season. Subscribe today at cruisinnewengland.com or call 508-428-8055.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Garage Storage Cabinets of Northern New England offers premier services in custom storage, organizer, and flooring systems for residential and light commercial spaces, specializing in garages, basements, and workrooms. If you are a discriminating person who views your garage or workspace as an extension of your home, you will be absolutely delighted with our products and individualized services. We are a New England family-owned and operated business, so take the next step. To schedule your in-home consultation and pricing, call us today. Welcome back to the Connecticut Military Vehicle Collector Show in Chester, Connecticut.
I'm looking down here. Okay, you have a seat, and I'm going to pull something up here. And you have an ace, the ace, on the helmet. Now, tell me about that.
Well, the helmet is Vietnam era with the camo cover on it.
John Tennis traveled from upstate New York with his 1967 gun truck, known as Aces and Eights.
I understand we are standing in a very rare truck.
Yeah, the truck that we're in right now is a 1967 vintage gun truck from Vietnam. It was built on a 2.5-ton cargo truck, and they armored the sides and armed it up with all these machine guns to protect our convoys through these trips through the dangerous areas where the VC and the North Vietnamese Army would ambush these people and stop our supply lines. The gun you're leaning on right now is a .50 caliber machine gun. It was probably resurrected out of a downed aircraft or another vehicle that had been destroyed by mines or ground fire, and they found this gun and they mounted it up in here. Coming around, they needed a bigger field of fire than just one gun. So over here we've got some .30 caliber air-cooled guns, and they probably picked these up off the ground from little tripods that the GI infantry used early on during the war. You can only see out the gun slots that are all armor-plated and very little visibility out, but as much protection as possible. Again, another radio set there to communicate back here into the gun box. There was only one gun truck per approximately every 10 or so cargo and fuel trucks. So they would get called on the radio and say, we've got an ambush ahead, and these trucks would jump out of the line and run up the side of the road and head right over for the ambush, and then they would lay down their field of fire.
When did they do the bulletproof?
The flak vests are Vietnam. Yep. That's actual Vietnam issue, and the guys all wore them. I'll flip one of these right on for you. And these were only to protect you, again, from indirect hits. This wouldn't take a bullet through it. They're not like today's body armor, which is much thinner. This is a flak jacket, and this, just basically, this is the setup. And the guys would normally not wear their helmet up here on top. It was so hot They would just go along with a boonie hat, and they did have a little bit of protection in the shield if they were fortunate. But of course, you had to remember that sometimes the ambush was coming from that side also.
Right.
So this was a hazardous area.
Wide open.
We lost a lot of people in gun trucks, and a lot of gun trucks.
Rick Amato is the owner of this Jeep, but as we learned, he knows a lot about all the vehicles at the show.
4-cylinder Go Devil engine, 3 speeds, 1 reverse, 3 forward. So
What would they use a vehicle like this for?
this is a reconnaissance vehicle by trade or by name, and what they would do is go out and scout, but it actually became the workhorse. In the field, they did tons of modifications to them. They would put wire reels on them. They'd be communications vehicles, ambulances, and any number of things that they could be adapted to. Some of the other vehicles you'll see at the show have all kinds of accoutrements hanging off of them. That's half the fun. After you get it started, it's fine, but then you try to go back and you try to get all the little things, the jacks, you get the air pumps to pump up your tire, the crank to start it because it can be started.
What would they have to pay for something like this?
To just buy it?
Yeah, to buy it.
To buy it ready to go down the road, somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000, depending on the condition. There are originals out there, but they're few and far between.
To me, it sounds like it's become an investment, a military vehicle.
Any car is an investment. I have several military vehicles, and I have a '49 Chevy, and any vehicle is an investment. It's all boils down to who wants to pay you for the investment in the end, whether it's an investment or not.
They certainly didn't build these for comfort. Is this a vehicle that you might see on the movie Kelly's Heroes?
When we return, Rick Amato will show us this World War II half-track.
Now what?
There's only one place to go. Modern Auto Body. We'll estimate the damage and assist with the insurance paperwork. Your vehicle's frame is laser checked to ensure exact alignment. Repairs are performed by ICAR and ASC certified technicians using OEM parts. A computerized system analyzes existing paint color and formulates an exact match. Modern's temperature-controlled bake booth then hardens the finish. Upon completion, your vehicle will be in perfect pre-accident condition.
Cruisin New England Productions advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Cruisin New England magazine has been updating auto enthusiasts with event information and special features for over 15 years. Cruisin New England, the Fun Car Show series, includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun, the All Wheels Nationals on Cape Cod, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin Classic. Cruisin New England with Paul Manette on Nesson showcases magnificent collections of automobiles, memorabilia, collectibles, cruise night, and car show segments. For more information, call 508-428-8055.
Vintage Auto Sales, specializing in brass era and classic automobiles from 1910 through the 1940s. Totally and partially restored vehicles, vintage motorcycles, and parts. Check out our website. Coker Tire Company offers vintage tires for collector vehicles from the late 1890s through the mid-1970s. Call today at 1-800-251-6336 or visit online at cokertire.com.
BASF, the chemical company, leading supplier of automotive custom paint finishes, featuring 12 new custom colors created by Chip Foose exclusively through BASF. Distributor information at www.basfrefinish.com.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website. We're back with Bob Audubonte, the president of the Connecticut Military Vehicle Collectors and the director of this Chester, Connecticut Military Vehicle Show.
Bob, what do we have here?
Well, what we have here today is the 32nd annual military vehicle show that this club has been setting up, consecutive 32 years. We have vehicles that are representing periods from World War II up until the present day. We have a lot of people that come to learn a little bit about these vehicles, and hopefully we can provide some of that information. Everybody knows the Jeep, everybody knows the bigger trucks, the Deuce and a Half. We've even got a half-track, we've even got a Hummer. Now everybody knows the Hummer because you see it on TV all the time.
So today we're going to see a little bit about military history.
Military history. We try to not only enjoy driving these things, but educate people a little bit on what it was like for the servicemen who used these vehicles.
Go over and have a look. I mean, to me, it looks like an Army tank.
It's a half a truck and half of a tank. In the late 30s, the U.S. Army needed a vehicle for troop transport and also towing artillery. So this was a conglomeration of several truck companies in the United States to come up with the design.
This half-track was supposed to be built to see action during World War II.
Let's have a look at the split. Now, we're talking about the half Army tank.
Well, it's half Army tank. It runs on a bogie and a tread system. Uses a banjo rear end from a deuce-and-a-half truck almost, little tighter gearing, and the front sprocket is your drive sprocket, the rear sprocket is a take-up sprocket. Of course, the bogie wheels in the middle are your guides. And it, four-wheel drive vehicles can be running two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all-terrain vehicle, your first off-road four-wheel drive vehicle. Honestly, the vehicle was obsolete before World War II, but it was a good vehicle for transporting troops in. Could carry up to 10 troops and all their gear, and they became actual gun mounts. They would carry 150 caliber, 230 caliber machine guns. They towed artillery, they towed ammo trailers. They became, once again, communications gear.
This troop ship used to be on display at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum in New York City.
I'm on a naval landing craft, and here's Roy Cagney.
Yes.
You restored this?
Yes, I did, yep.
Tell me about it.
About 2 years ago, I acquired it at a marina, and it was falling off the poppets and everything. It had a lot of holes in it, and so I took it home and started working on it, did a lot of fiberglass repairs to the bottom, sandblasted it, gel-coated it, put a new engine in it, new fuel tanks. Like I said, it was completely stripped.
Why would you ever buy, literally, this big boat?
Just a little hobby, I guess.
A little hobby. Now, didn't you have, you had an idea you were going to use this for something, though?
Yeah, I have an island that I purchased, and I was going to restore a house on it. And actually, I already got it done, so, you know, it's more or less a toy at this point. And on the back deck there, we have a replica 50 caliber machine gun, which it was not actually on this particular boat at that time, but they did have some machine guns, smaller caliber, like 20, 30 caliber.
Now let's talk about the rear gate. I guess, do they call that a gate?
Well, actually, yeah, that's the front gate per se.
Okay, the front gate.
Yes.
So that's right, because when you come in frontwards, this way to land
in the
personnel.
Yes. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about how it works.
It's cable, you know, drawn here. And in the back here, there's an actual winch. I don't know if you can see it. And it's hand cranked. So one person can crank it up and down, or you can let it freewheel and let it fall down when you go into a beach.
So there's no pushing a button. This thing happens automatically. The troops got to do it on their own.
Yes, to crank it up. And some of them did install hydraulic little pumps that'll actually bring it up and down.
When I first saw this, is this thing actually seaworthy?
When we return, we'll see if this boat still floats, and we'll meet a former serviceman who was trained on a troop ship just like this one.
Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award and recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting.
Jim, I want to introduce you to Al Legato Jr., and he owns this 1973 Mustang.
Al, glad to meet you. Tell us a little bit about your car.
Okay, my car is a 1973 Mach 1, and it's all stock. It has factory ram air, and they used this type of car in the original Gone in 60 Seconds movie back in '73.
Well, it's a great looking car, and on behalf of Cruisin New England and Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with this award and a gift certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Al.
Thank you very much.